something. The biggest thing that I, to be honest with you, that I hate about my anger is because I always hated watching my dad flip out and act like a complete lunatic. And I always promised myself I was never going to do that. And you know how it is. You end up being just like him. And what I hate most about flipping out is in the middle of it, half the time I end up just picturing something that I say. I picture my dad, doing that like 20 years ago.
You know,
and he's in tighty whities with his T-shirt tucked into him, which is also really creepy.
The issue is that our parents are our models. So if nobody really models anything different, there's sort of no other way of dealing with it, until you learn another way. Somebody has to sort of show you and find out. I mean, if you want a really serious answer, do you?
Yeah. No, I do.
It must have been really hard for you and frightening as a little kid to be watching this.
Oh, you so didn't want you to go that way. Can't you just give me like a formula?
No.
Like a workout video. You can't give me something if I eat like enough avocados during the week?
Nah, can't. Well, you could eat avocados if it makes you happy too, but that's not going to really work, It's hard to say I'll never do this one thing that I only know how to do.
Oh God! So what do I have to? It's just so fucking uncomfortable.
You're asking.
It's interesting. I'm interested in hearing. I'm interested.
I'm squirming over here, Joe.
Don't. This is it. This is what's going to make it better.
It's embarrassing.
No, it's not. It's interesting.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I'm serious.
It's more interesting when it's happening to you.
Can I ask you something?
Okay. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to answer it.
You don't have to answer me, but I'm wondering if you're...
That's right. I don't, lady.
No, you don't. See, you don't. You're working now. So is your off air, or your off stage persona? Are you as angry off stage as on?
Yeah. Am I as angry? Oh, yeah. That's most of my jokes come out of some sort of anger.
So you have found...
I'm telling that story on stage about wanting to beat up the 4-year-old, and I gotta admit, the amount of people who laugh at it, not just laugh like, oh my God, that's crazy, but the people who laugh at it relating, it just makes me feel better, because I'm like, I'm not the only one who wants to beat up a 4-year-old, but doesn't do it.
Exactly. The whole point is you don't do it. These fantasies of doing all these kind of things is fine. But you're uncomfortable about the feeling so angry. But you're not acting on the things. So that part of it's okay.
To be honest with you, you want to get into this shit, it's really fucking up my relationship with my girlfriend because she hates the anger, it causes tension. When I was dealing, with the cable company there and that guy wouldn't give me his name, if I had some sort of black belt, my hand would have gone through the coffee table. That's how hard I hit it. And she just,
It's scary for her.
Yeah, caused her to jump. Yeah, but I think it's kind of a turn on for the broads,
Well, maybe at certain times, but maybe not during the cable company interaction. Yeah, well, because she's probably feeling the way you did when you were a little kid with your father.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because she described it one day. She just said, you create this tension in the relationship. And it's like, that is the exact same thing I felt when my dad used to come home. We fucking ran and hid.
Scared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
it was scared at first, and then, I don't know.
But you never knew what was going to happen,
No, but you know what? But then, what came out of it was humor. Came out of it. My brother, you know what he used to do? This is like genius. My brother had, those boom boxes with the dual cassettes?
Yeah.
He used to tape my parents' arguments, and he would make mixtapes. He would put music that went with the arguments.
Oh my God. That's a terrific idea.
Oh, it was fucking hilarious. He had one where my dad started out. I'm telling you right now, I'm really getting sick of this shit, okay? And he was building up to this anger, and he put, that song No Quarter by Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Starts off with that haunting keyboard.
Yeah.
And then Robert Plant comes in with that really spooky, close the door, put out the lights.
Oh my God.
And it gets all the way up to...
Oh no.
And then right as Bonham's drums came in, he's like, you goddamn fucking bitch! And we sat there...
God.
As 8-year, all of us, 6 to 12 at that age, all of us, and we were fucking dying laughing. We played it for my mother. She was laughing. We all,
you know what?
We all ended up laughing about it.
Children have no...
There we go. This started up the argument. Okay, I'm going to do my dad right now, okay? Oh, I tell you right now, you know what? I'm getting sick of this shit. Oh, you know what? Fuck you, lady. And he just kept building it higher and higher. I'll tell you, one of these days, Linda, I'm going to walk out the door. I'm not coming back.
And what was your mother saying?
Oh, you can never hear her. She was just like, saying, a little mousy voice. Scared. She wasn't saying anything. She was just sitting there. I'm really letting people into my life right now.
Yes.
I can't want to recreate it. It was fucking. It was. I don't know.
So let me go to the theoretical for a moment to get you off the hook. So children.
John Paul Jones on the keyboards, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Kids can't have no way of getting away from that situation. They're scared.
Yeah, it's a police state.
Yeah. Well, also they, on some level, usually love their parents and can't figure out what's going on. And so the only way to make sense of it, the only way to protect themselves is to come up with these strategies, which that was a brilliant thing you kids did. So now you've turned this awful part of your life partially into an adaptive in terms of your career. I mean, it's helped. It's helped. You got into your field maybe partly because of your
because of that
situation. You have found a way that's adaptive to sort of.
Well, you know what's interesting about that? Because I've always told that, like, people, like, you know, Joe, like when people meet you after you've done your show and they want you to still be the guy joking around.
Yeah. I hate
and when
that.
you're this morose psychopath, they don't understand that, like, humor is actually a defense mechanism of basically, oh, here comes a bad feeling. I don't want to feel it, so you end up making a joke, which is why any sort of tragedy happens. Comedians always had jokes, from fucking, you know, cults to those miners being trapped. And people think you're making these jokes because you don't give a shit, and it's more like, no, I just don't want to feel that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, cops do that, you know, like there could be on a murder scene, and people get really mad when they see them joking around, and firefighters, but it's the exact same thing.
Can you know something? Because what they actually see is way more worse than what I've ever seen. I bet those guys are 100 times funnier than any comedian. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but you were a little kid.
of A material you'd have to come up with. There's a headless body sitting there. And you got to sweep up, and you got to come up with something to kill the tension.
Well, they're nuts. Remember the cop we were hanging out with that was like, "Want to go shoot the gun up in the air?"
Oh yeah.
I treat a lot of people that were 9/11, you know, first responders, and boy, oh boy, many of them are very sick.
Well, let me ask you this, because I really, you know, I'm turning 40 years old in June, okay? I'm doing pull-ups. I'm doing everything I can to try to make myself not feel like I'm already halfway through my life and I've completely blown it. And I've realized that I've spent basically half my life being this angry psycho. And, like...
Well, you have other parts to you, though.
It's the voice, man. The voice
and it drives them insane.
Yeah.
It's therapist voice. That's how they talk. How do you want a therapist?
I know, but I got like, I'm so walled off. Like, I don't want you to suck me into that vibe.
You know what I think is?
Because I'll probably start losing it.
I think
using the windscreen here to dab my fucking tears. I can't.
When
I
asked you what your mother's voice sounded like, you said you couldn't hear her. So maybe the softness is a little scary.
No, I think it was probably more the acoustics of the house. It was an old house.
Yeah, but the other part is that she wasn't able to stick up for the kids and for herself, which is pretty scary too.
Yeah.
Should we move to you for a moment?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay.
It's fucking heavy. Whew.
No, but
wow, you know what? You really, you know,
you're good.
I'm going to tell you,
you are good.
Yeah, I don't know what they teach you there at New York. NYU, you got right to the heart. Man, I've been going to therapy. It took the therapist I'm with a hack. The therapist I got now, it took him like 6 weeks to get to that. You know what? You know why you're getting me? I'll tell you why you get, because I'm in front of the microphone, so I don't have the usual, the Fort Knox up.
Yeah, that's probably true. Actually,
because half of me, I'm thinking, even as I'm telling you these stories, I'm thinking this is funny as hell to people listening.
Right.
Me imitating my dad, so I can actually do it that way. God damn it.
That's how they get you.
Okay, on to Joe Derosa.
All right.
But what do you mean by that's how they get you?
I was just making a joke.
No, Joe, come on. She just strip mined my soul for the last 3
so
months.
You got the mic up. They got you. They swindled you into your exposing.
No, what did you mean by that, Joe?
That's what I meant.
Joe has all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I don't. Why am I?
You know what?
So
I'm like
angry?
Kobe Bryant right now. Hey, Shaq raped somebody in Denver too.
Why am I so angry? I didn't. Well, I'm adopted. Number one, you need to know that. But my dad didn't come home screaming.
You mean you were adopted? It's a process. Not
yes, I was
as opposed
adopted.
To a label.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. You still
I was adopted, but there's been an immense amount of subconscious stuff that's come out in recent years as a result of it, abandonment issues and intimacy issues and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I think that's probably why it's hard for you to separate in this breakup. It's probably really painful.
Joe, stop playing with the mic. Just sit there and have the feelings, okay? I did it. I did it.
You're going to edit this whole thing
No,
out?
I'm not. No, it'll go
No,
as
I
is.
want him to squirm right now.
How many children are there in the family?
It was just me.
Yeah.
Because my mom was unable to. My parents couldn't conceive or whatever. They couldn't. My mom couldn't get pregnant for whatever reason. She got pregnant once. She had a miscarriage. Then they adopted me. But my parents were very. They weren't overprotective where they didn't let me do stuff. Like I was allowed to do whatever I wanted to do, basically.
Did you feel like you were just some bad substitute? You know, like somebody wanted the IROC and they just got the regular Camaro?
No. I never.
What happened?
I never felt like that.
You know what? I'm not trying to disrupt this, but every once in a while we got to throw a joke in here.
Go ahead.
Or truckers are going to drive their fucking
trucks
thing
off the road.
into a ravine, either out of pure boredom or we're going to hit on something that they've been driving away from their whole life.
It's hilarious.
You know what happens though, because I'm very familiar with this as an adoptive mother. I think that a lot of times.
So you adopted a kid?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And I think what
How
happens.
did that make you feel?
You know what? You're in for a career change. I think that a lot of times people, when they adopt a child, they want so much. They treat them so specially that a kid, it feels like they can't possibly be this miraculous being, that they're being treated by and then it creates a lot of problems. Also, did they talk openly about the adoption with you?
Oh yeah, I always knew. I literally can't remember them ever telling me. I just knew.
Did you find out there was no Santa Claus, or I was adopted first? I
was adopted. I literally have known that my whole life. I can't remember ever not knowing that. So they must have told me literally since I was like a baby.
Joe, we're just letting you know you're not ours. Now, finish up your baby food.
No, there's books. There's these wonderful books like, from like Sesame Street, Gordon and whatever her name is, How to Make a Family.
Maria.
Right.
No, Maria was not with Gordon. Was she?
Huh?
Maria?
She was hot. He should have picked her.
Maria didn't need to adopt. She was Puerto Rican.
No.
She lives in my neighborhood.
She was with... Wait a minute. There was the other girl.
Yeah, Maria wasn't with Gordon.
I don't fucking know. Can we talk about my feelings and not Sesame Street characters right now?
Is she running up, Joe? A little anger, a little defensiveness.
I didn't. Were they older parents?
Oh, I know it was. I know who it was. It was. They used to sing the song where I got 2 ears to help me hear, and then Bob would be like, I've got 2 eyes, like the white and black thing. You don't remember that?
No.
Susan.
He was tapping
Gordon
that. Susan?
Wasn't it Susan?
I don't think so.
Oh shit! This is when we need callers.
Somebody will call you. And
okay,
email
you know
us.
what? Okay, go ahead. You guys.
All right.
Get in deep.
No, they were average age.
I mean, like.
But my parents do. I will say this. I've recognized this recently. My parents placate me. I wasn't spoiled monetarily because they never had a lot of money, but. I think emotionally I was spoiled in a certain way. There was a lot of fighting and I have a very oral, retentive family. So I mean, it's not like it was all picnics and.
So your parents fought with each other, too?
They fought. I fought with them. It's almost like a sibling style relationship I have. I mean, it's very.
So they.
Joe yells at his parents.
Yeah. I used to tell funny stories about me getting in an argument with my mom, where I'd literally do the Ralph Cramden thing with her, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'd love to," and she'd be like, "You and what army? Bring it on!"
So she treated you more like a husband in some ways. Only
that's creepy.
I don't mean it in.
Wait a minute. You know what? Pornography. He's into MILF porn. Can you dissect that, please?
Oh, God.
This is awesome. I want her on every episode. This is a new way to attack each other. You know shit about me, and we'll just sick a therapist on you. Joe is into MILF porn.
I literally was looking at you when she was talking to you, and I was like, what the fuck's she squirming about? Who cares? And then when you just said that, my stomach sank, and I'm like, oh, that's what it's like to tap into your real issues.
Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Here we go.
Well, you wanted to know, each of you, where the anger came from. And this is the beginning of the reservoir.
But my parent, what I was saying earlier before we get into the MILF porn thing, my parents.
She's not your real mother, Joe. So
stop it. Stop it. My parents placated me.
It's a little competitive.
Stop using that word, Joe.
Competitive.
No. They do placate me. Like
what
my
does that mean?
They appease me, like in other words.
Oh, appease.
They'll tell me, they'll just say, they'll They'll say, look, you have to do what you need to do for yourself right now. And anybody else that doesn't understand, that's their problem. They're going to have to understand it. And it's nice that they say that to be supportive of me with my job or whatever. If you can't make it to this thing, then everybody's going to have to understand because you're doing your job. And I understand that they're trying
they're not asking you about how do you feel.
That's what I mean. They're trying
They don't see you.
And how did that make you feel, Joe?
They're trying. Well, it's at the time, it's what you want to hear because you're going, yeah.
You want to hear.
They're giving me the green light to do whatever I want to do, and these people will back me up no matter what. But then you realize they probably should challenge me a bit more. They should probably.
Well, that's true. As a kid, you don't want to. Oh no, you don't really have.